In this video is a brief overview of the full build process of turbocharging my 2017 VF SSV Commodore wagon. If you would like to see certain parts in greater detail, there is multiple videos that go into greater depth on the channel you can check out. The engine was removed and partially disassembled before I sent the bottom end off to Speedworks Engines in Ringwood, where they gave it a once-over and gapped the rings and dialed in the Brian Tooley Racing camshaft with a Rollmaster double row timing set. I reassembled the rest of the engine using Johnson 2116 LSR tie bar lifters, LSA head gaskets, and ARP 2000 series head studs, and a Malling 10295 standard volume high pressure oil pump. Higgins CNC ported LS3 heads with the factory rocker arms are used, with CHE trunnion bearing upgrades installed into the rocker arms. The turbo setup consists of a set of kiloboost manifolds, an 88mm Garrett GT47 turbo, and the boost beam controlled via a TurboSmart 60mm wastegate and eBoost 2 controller. I cannot emphasize enough just how good the kiloboost manifolds are. The manifolds were wrapped in DEI titanium exhaust wrap to try and keep some of the engine bay temperatures down. The battery feed cable was rerouted so a bulkhead fitting was mounted through the firewall and a new cable ran through the inner guard. The fuel system consists of a 4 Innovations dual pump module fitted with two Walbro 525 litre per hour fuel pumps. Fuel rails are a pair from Holly AFI. The regulator is a TurboSmart FPR 2000. The injectors are Bosch 1650cc, and a flex fuel sensor is mounted into a Motion Raceworks dual channel bracket. The factory fuel hardline was removed to make way for braided lines.
Okay.
I chose to cut a hole underneath the back seat and make cover plates to make future access to the fuel pumps a lot easier. Deutsch connectors, braided cable sleeve, and glue-lined heat shrink was used before fitting the fuel pump module into the tank. To cover the hole cut into the floor, I had parts water jet cut from aluminium that bolt into the floor pan with riv nuts. I used my previous gauge panel as a template to make a new gauge panel to mount the eBoost 2 controller and the gauges for the air suspension. The panel is made out of 3mm MDF sheet and wrapped in vinyl. On the transmission side of things, a TCE converter was built to suit the combo. I've used an Earls 6L80 to AN fitting adapter so braided hoses could be used, and I got myself a deeper transmission pan and filter from a Commodore, as well as a Castlemaine rod shop billet flex plate and ARP hardware. AC Delco Dexron 6 transmission fluid was used. The engine was then fitted back into the car and a mock-up of the turbo setup was done. The factory coil brackets were modified to position the coils higher up on the valve covers. The turbo setup was then taken back off the car and the engine wiring harness fitted, ready to be modified to add in the flex fuel sensor, relocate the water temperature sensor and repin the injector connectors for the Bosch 1650cc injectors. A Bosch 2.7 bar map sensor was used, and the Bosch 1650cc injectors were fitted into the Holley fuel rails. The front crash bar was drilled and riv nuts fitted where the transmission and engine oil coolers will be mounted to. Coolers used a Cetrab extra wide 15 row units. I had Reds Engineering machine me up a 5-inch to 4-inch stainless steel V-band reducer for the outlet of the turbo. PTP, turbo and wastegate blankets were chosen to help keep some of the engine bay temperatures down. All of the stainless steel material I used was purchased through tube sales. Fabrication begun starting on the dump pipe. It is a very time-consuming process that takes a lot of patience and persistence, with heaps of test fitting to get everything fit up right to achieve good results. On the wiring side of things, a panel was made up to mount all of the electrical components in the rear of the car next to the battery.
Close your eyes.
When welding out all of the stainless tube, the tubes were back purged with argon.
Close your eyes.
Continuing on with more fabrication, the dump pipe was another lengthy process. ICE Ignition's universal spark plug lead kit was used to make a custom set of spark plug leads. Matt from ICE Ignition was an absolute legend to deal with and super helpful. More fabrication work was done, continuing on with making the rest of the exhaust. Steve and the guys from Speed Pro were a massive help with the build, hooking up a killer deal on all of the speed flow, AN fittings and hose. Finally, with light at the end of the tunnel, motivation levels were super high, and all of the huge hours and many months of work finally starting to pay off. With all of the fluids topped off and everything checked over multiple times and a bass tune loaded into the ECU from SAS Automotive, it was finally time to fire her to life. After almost 2 years leading up to this point, I cannot put into words just how incredible it felt to hear it for the first time. I fabricated a custom oil catch can and radiator overflow out of aluminium. Unfortunately, I lost the footage of the rest of the exhaust fabrication, but it is a full stainless steel system with V-bands throughout. An AES dump valve is fitted before the Dandy exhausts, 18-inch long resonators, and Manta performance mufflers finish out the rear. If you've made it this far into the video, I really hope you enjoyed it, and thanks so much for watching.